told us to do for 30 years. I mean, if the U.S. took farmers like me to Texas Steakhouse, and gave us free dinners to teach us this new science-based kind of feeding, it's called, we grind up dead cows, feed them back to dead cows. Some of us didn't buy it. We didn't buy it not because we were Luddites, or because we didn't like the U.S. or because we just wanted to be contrary, or because we didn't like science. We didn't buy it because there is no template in nature, there is no pattern in nature, no order by the Creator's design that gives us a template in which herbivores eat carrion. It doesn't exist. So I don't care what the scientists say. I'm not going to do it. Because ultimately, a moral value base, a philosophical base, has to be the moral ethical brakes on what we can physically do. And so here we are 30, 40 years later with this big collective, oops, maybe we shouldn't all have done that. I think it's pretty amazing that the very government agency that gave us mad cow is trying to position itself as the repository of food safety. So, here we are, moving, mobbing, mowing. So what do? We move these cows every day to a fresh paddock using high-tech electric fencing. All right? This is not Grandpa's farm. Okay? Now, there are a lot of things Grandpa did that we appreciate. But he would have died to have this farm. Okay? Because we now have microchip computer-activated 2,000th of a second, painful, low amperage electric fencing, right? That has revolutionized the ability of us on a grand scale and very cheaply and efficiently to mimic God's order. Isn't that cool? Okay? So that's the proper application of technology, to apply it in a way that respects and honors the natural pattern as opposed to prostituting it, adulterating it, disrespecting it, and running roughshod over it. So, these cows are moved every day to a fresh paddock. It's a very simple system, just portable. It's just, everybody can have different things. We started ours back before Gallagher and Twin Mountain and all these. There's a little speed right energizer there, permanent fence, portables, so we can move these cows every day to a fresh spot. Every day at 4 o'clock we call them and they come. You don't have to herd them or drive them or anything. You don't have to. Well, if every day at 4 o'clock a certain call is that you can get a bowl of ice cream, I'm awesome. I'm a very discriminatory ice cream eater. I only eat it if I'm alone or with someone. Well, these cows become very gentle and easy to manage, all right, when you're moving them every day to a fresh spot. So we make and unmake these little portable fences every day. All right, now what do you do about drought and winter? Well, you stockpile for it. So here we are in a drought in August with 100 cows on a quarter of an acre a day. Now, a lot of people say, well, that's ungrazable. That's, what in the world is there? Nothing there. Oh, yeah, there's a lot there. That is stored solar energy that we have allowed by withdrawing the animals and regulating the exposure to that area. We have allowed that grass to go through its juvenile growth spurt. You see, grass grows in an S curve, a sigmoid curve. Got that, Aaron? Okay, the sigmoid curve, yeah. And it starts gently, starts slow, and right when it becomes grazable, it starts to curve up. But the amount of solar energy converted into biomass in time is much less here than in that juvenile growth period, and then what I call nursing home grass. We don't want to graze it at diaper grass, and we don't want to graze it in nursing home grass. We want to graze it after that juvenile growth period when it has taken much more solar energy per time and put it into the plant. So this physiological expression allows that plant to do that. So there's our electric fence. Here we are on the left was where they're gone into. They were just on the right. So what's on the right looks just like what was on the left, 24-hour treatment. Okay? This is 100 cows on a quarter acre a day. A quarter acre would be about twice the size of this room, 100 cows. Okay? That's tight. All right? Another shot. You see what they're eating, and you see what they just made. Look at all the manure, all right? And look at all the shredding and the stomping and the lignified carbon. You see, nature builds soil with lignified carbon, not green material, but lignified carbon that makes a different cellular structure. There's a lot of green material there, you know, and they eat it, and the lignified, they just stomp in. It's pretty tight, okay? Just to drive the point home, upper left is Cape Buffalo and lions in Botswana, South Africa. Bottom picture is cows and electric fence in Swope, Virginia. Okay, you see the biomimicry? That's the idea. And by doing this is what we call mob stocking or river solar conversion, lignified carbon sequestration fertilization. And of all the ranchers and farmers that have cattle in America would practice this system, in fewer than 10 years it would sequester all the carbon that's been emitted since the beginning of the industrial age. That's how simple this is. Okay? But you won't see that espoused by government programs because, you know, it's too simple. It puts money in farmers' pockets instead of the pockets of big corporations that buy for themselves special welfare benefits from government subsidies. That was free. So here we are, other times of year, upper left. This is February. You can see the snow on the hillside there. This is February, 80 dry cows on half an acre a day. Bottom picture, this is 400 head on 2 acres a day in July. Different times of year, different seasons, different applications. But the point is, mob stocking. There's 350 head right there, waiting to move into their next pattern. Here they are moving. The gate, we're rolling up electric fence here. The cows are pouring in behind us, moving into that next spot. All right. And this really builds the carbon in the soil. Here we are with the same herd but different locations, pouring into their next paddock. There they are now spread out, 350 head in about an acre and 3/4. Okay? This is their one day ration. And what they do is they eat thistles, they eat weeds, they eat briars. What they don't eat, they stomp and they shred it so that the soil bacteria can actually take it, the earthworms and all, and pull it down into the soil. This is the way historically soils have been built throughout the world. So all this is biomimicry. And on our farm, in 50 years, we've gone from an average of 1% organic matter to an average of 8% organic. And from a production standpoint, in our county, the average cow days per acre, a cow is 1 cow a day, the average is 80 cow days per acre, and our farm averages 400 cow days per acre. We've never bought a chemical fertilizer, planted seeds on our flat. In 50 years. What's amazing to me is there's some big corporation does some genetic modification thing and makes a 2% increase in something. Well, they get the front page headlines of every newspaper in the country. 2% increase in something. I'm talking about 200%, 300%, 400%. I guess it's not sexy enough or something. Okay. So water becomes an issue. Well, we don't want the cows to, be watering through their hippopotami. I mean, there's a reason why we don't want to drink out of our toilet. I mean, they pee out their back end, drink in the front. And if you drink out of your toilet, you probably have worms too. So we do an amazing lunatic thing. We actually put water in a pipe. We put water in a pipe and deliver it to the cows in tanks, full flow valves, very simple systems. But this allows us to deliver nice, clean water to them.